Sorry for being late to my own party. I have been awake for, let's see, I woke up about 2 minutes to 5. Had a bit of problem during the night with the nighttime pain again, so I just put on the binaural beats next to my head on a little speaker, and boy, managed to get to sleep for, 4 hours. So here I am, late to my own party. In case you don't know who I am, my name is Gail. I am an autistic web creator. I'm a web creator that creates things that are autistic friendly or friendly for people who do not like bells and whistles, pop-ups, pop-unders, ad servers, and such. In the morning, I like to get up and share a cup of coffee, talk about the day. I'm a little bit late this morning. I woke up 3 minutes to 5. Talk about dedicated. Yeah, so you have to excuse me because my mind has not put the pieces together yet. I was having a bit of a rough time in the nighttime, and the binaural beats pulled me through again. I've got them very quietly in the background still, I hope. I don't know what the copyright is on that. But as long as it's not out there and obvious of being a tune or something, I might be okay. So, what is today? The 5th of December. Yeah, I can totally understand. Sleeping in, boy, that is not one of my things. But it was almost like I woke up. What time is it? Oh, I feel so good. Oh my goodness, it's 3 minutes to 5. Okay, so today is the 5th of December. It is National Blue Jeans Day. Also Walt Disney Day. It's his birthday. The creator of all the imaginary movies for families. It's another day too. What was the other day? 3 days. Blue jeans. Let me take a peek. You cannot forget St. Nicholas, the European St. Nicholas. Yeah, so if you want to learn about those 3 things, I've got them up on my website, gocybernaut.com, for celebrations of the day. I've got another very slow day, thank goodness. I'll be promoting National Illinois Day, which is coming up in a few days, and Hanukkah. We prove a National Alabama Day for the 14th, and Bangladesh Victory Day for the 15th. Other than getting my pages into Google, which seems to be going very well, that's the bulk of my day. I did spend yesterday adding a few more vintage television shows to my list. I'll probably continue that. I'm going a lot slower. I like to watch the entire thing to make sure that it is what it is and doesn't end in the middle or something. It's kind of time consuming, but hey, I'm going to totally be in a holiday mood by the time I've watched all of my programming. My lights again are falling over my door. So we'll be trying to fix that. If I can handle it. If any more fall down before this live stream is over, I will go up and fix. Otherwise, I'll try to handle my OCD and I should be facing the other way, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, I'm having to gather my thoughts. Watch my favorite vloggers. Let's see. Christmas shows. I'm still in bed. I'm starting to feel better. As far as the illness that I've had the last few months. I think the pain last night, that was the arthritis and all that kind of stuff that is around anyways. But as far as the illness goes, I am starting to feel a bit stronger. I'm taking it, I know it's going to take time to build up my build up my strength again. Hopefully, let's see what today is. Today is Wednesday. What's Wednesday? Friday, I go for my flu shot. Nice and early, so that'll give me the weekend to see if that affects me. My problem, I think my main problem is I start feeling better about one thing and I go do something else. But I have to get the flu shot when you've got an immune system that has a hard time fighting things. One, the flu shot will help build it up against those bugs, I guess, and two, I don't want to get the real deal because I don't do well with illness. I'm not a happy illness person. Oh my goodness. So I'll turn it back over here to the sunshine. I'm gonna have my breakfast and my coffee here. If there's anything we should talk about. Now that I'm awake, oh boy. Tell you, it's nice to sleep though. Now here's another thing about my neurodivergence. I go for a flu shot on Friday. I've known for a few weeks this is going to happen. The bus ride is not that long. It's one bus. But I'm telling you, every possible catastrophe, including blizzards and a new world war, has come into my mind as possibilities of causing me problems getting to my appointment. That's one of my things. When I have an appointment, especially if they're in advance, gosh, even worse, they're months in advance, which is really the way it is now in British Columbia. You need to see a specialist, you're going to wait months, you're going to wait a year. But I will spend so much time imagining every possible pitfall and how I'm going to approach that. Now, this is like one bus ride away to a place I go all the time. There really isn't that much time for something to go wrong, but in my mind, get me to the flu shot on time. So I barely make appointments. Well, they stress me out. But that's all I really got to worry about right now. It's a pretty good thing, I guess. I've got my neural beats happening there. It's heal my body. Boy, does it ever relax you. Oh, I can hear a bunch of movement in the other room. I guess it's time for Mr. Miles to go out for his walk. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe I slept past that point. Maybe he's already beaten us back again. So I found that I found out the shot does come playback after a day. So it was kind of scaring me that all these would just sound like me babbling to myself. Even they do probably sound like me babbling to myself, but by myself. I'm happy to know that every morning, B-Team Paranormal comes and sits here with me. Otherwise, I would be alone. I'd be a old crazy woman. No, I say crazy. I'd be an old woman who thinks differently, babbling. I know. I'm exactly the same way when it comes to appointments. Maybe that's why it's such a big deal. And it's always been like that for me. For every single appointment I ever go to, it's just that thought and worry over it. Gosh. And then, of course, when you're not getting out, and when you already have physical problems and that, it's a big deal. It's a big deal just going on in itself, just making the effort. Because I've been in bed. This is the start of October, and that's only maybe the last 2 weeks where I felt human. So I worry that too. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to do a little walking, and I'm gonna have to do a little standing, and I have to do a little waiting. And how is that going to affect me? And I know it will take me the weekend just to get over. I'm just getting over going out. Actually, speaking of that, I do believe. Oh, man, I guess I'm getting ready to go for the dog walk. Yes. So I was out to face all the wilds of Vancouver Island for these two. Because we do get cougars and bears in the city center of Nanaimo, British Columbia. But hopefully it's just a trip around the block and doing his business and coming home and being a happy dog. I thought of doing an article on the, I actually thought I had. At one point I did have an article. It's all vintage Christmas television. I think when my service crashed, I had to start downsizing pages. It was one of the ones to go. But I think making for now, making a playlist right here and put it under my playlists. I'll add it to the bottom here as well. It's just as good. I just like to take things and put them in chronological order and make a list of things. What can I say? It's one of my pet peeves. And clack a little paws on the floor. Or say big paws by the door. Yeah, today's not really a big plan day. See, that's the other thing. I know that I'm going to be going on Friday. So that I'm going to really rest up here until then. I'm probably not going to eat, because if I eat, there is an chance that I could have an irritable bowel problem. I mean, it's just like everything for the next until I get to that shot in my life is going to be when you're non-typical. I mean, for anybody, but especially for me in my thinking pattern, just leaving the house now has become this major decision. You know, some people fly across the country, for business. Me, I'm lucky when I make it to the other side of my bed. I'm telling you. Oh, the sparkle lights are very bright today. Oh, I found out this Santa. This Santa over here, over my shoulder here. I think I mentioned the other day it was made by my cousin June's husband and given to my mother, and we've had it had around for a long time. It's the only really Swedish family thing I have. Sadly, I found out yesterday my cousin passed away, my cousin June. So yeah, I'm feeling quite low about that. But when I look at the Santa, I can remember her. And I'm going to thank. She was quite a bit older than me again. She was the same age as my brother Gary. They were like twinsies. So she has to be in her 80s. But very, very kind woman. And she helped me in the last few years a lot with our genealogy. I mean, she sent me a picture of my mother. She was very, very young. And that family, when they came over from Sweden, so my mother was 7, I guess, is early 1900s. And it's the first and only time I saw the likeness of my grandfather. It meant a lot. So, yeah, she is going to be missed. It's very, very, very sad. Apparently she had been ill, though. And yes, she had a good, kind life, that's for sure. Yeah, so that was a bit of sad news I got yesterday. It's been a good year for my family. But I think when I consider that most of my family members are at least 20 years older than me, I guess, this is just something that time is bringing on. didn't have a large family. My father had one sister, but my mom had a sister. I think 4 brothers, and of course they're all gone. I think my mother may be the last to go there, but I wasn't really close to any of my cousins on my mom's side except for her sister's children, and that was June. Yeah, my dad's side, my Auntie Carrie had one son. His name was Ross, F. Ross Johnson. They made a movie about him called Barbarians at the Gate. And I can remember, and this was in the 2000s, him pulling me up, and he actually said, he was the CEO of Standard Brands, all the cigarette companies and cookie companies and everything, and quite a big company in the United States. And he sent me in the 2000s his I guess it was his resume. And I'm like, oh, he said the note, I just want to show you what I've accomplished. But yeah, he phoned me one day, probably 2011, 2012, and he said, hey, guess what? They made a movie about me. I said, I know. I have a copy of the DVD. He said, they did a really good job. What was the fellow who played him? Oh, I can't remember him. Let me take a look. Let me take a look at this movie. It was about when there was that fight to take over Nabisco. Gate. Based on a book, which of course I had many copies. Barbarians at the Gate, based on a true story. This humor-tinged docudrama follows F. Ross Johnson, James Garner, there you go, the CEO and president of the massive Food and Tobacco Corporation, RJR Nabisco, as he attempts to buy the company. The way that we got into the conversation was, I told him, hey, remember that guy that you were trying to buy, the Henry Kravitz guy? Well, it just so happened at that time, I had just finished a 10-year lawsuit against basically Harry Kravitz, and his media team had bought the media company I worked for, and there's a whole lot of non nice stuff going on. Anyways, there was $100 million lawsuit. You look up Primedia, Levinson versus Primedia. My name's there on the original people who did the suit. So yeah, I am suing your old nemesis. So he thought that was quite funny. He told me, the only people that are going to win there, the lawyers. Which he was right. The lawyers. I think it was already over there by then. But the lawyers came out the best. We did win. We did win $100 million, and the funds were distributed evenly to all the writers that had ever worked there, which means that the 10-year lawsuit, the people that stayed did way better than the people like us that brought upon the lawsuit. But some of them, well, one wrote me and thanked me very, very much for putting my name on the line. Mine, and I think there was like 35, 40 of us. And they used that money for very good reasons. So I feel good. And it's always the principle of the thing. It's the whole thing, whereas the big media company, the little writer, blah, blah, blah. The beginning of the internet, few rules. And that's history. But yeah, he was a big businessman, but my cousin, and we shared a love of genealogy, the fact that we had Irish ancestry somewhere. And yeah, he was my only cousin on my dad's mind since then. I did my ancestry DNA. It turns out, and I I'd always known this just from talk, my father did have another son. I do have another half brother. Unfortunately, he died under tragic circumstances when I was about 12 years old, so I never got to meet him. But I matched with his children. Now the problem is, I don't think his children didn't know that he had a different father than the one that was on his birth certificate. So they don't totally understand our genealogy. I figured out pretty good because I understand centimorgans and all that stuff. Um, so I really haven't said anything to them. I don't want to, when their father died, I think one of them was 5 and one was 3 years old. So, I mean, this is not something you're going to bring up. I think he knows well, he does know that he has a birth father that is different, but he doesn't know that birth father was different. And, the things that come out in the light of DNA. Yeah, so I did have another half brother, but no longer. Never got to meet him, but I always felt I did. In fact, I think my father, he used to drive me around down 4th Avenue when the hippies were there and that. And I think that's who he's looking for. I think that's how I picked up on that this fellow even existed. Because I remember I used to tell people I had an older brother and he was a hippie, but I didn't know where he was. Now, I don't know if that was a imaginary friend at first that developed into something, or that, you're a kid and you pick up a bit on adult talk. But I always had that feeling he was there. And I kind of feel bad that I sort of missed out on having a relationship with him. I wonder what percentage of people that did their ancestry have come back with a what they call NPE, non-parent expected, because I didn't even feel surprised. Yeah, we didn't know people don't know different technologies coming up could pretty well give me a gene. I'll tell you everything about this person. This guy, I've been watching some of the weather. One of the vloggers I follow, Elizabeth Veronica. Oh, here comes the dog again. I was in Erie, Pennsylvania. Oh my gosh, the snow they've been getting there. Apparently, Toronto had a first little bit of snow yesterday too. Don't miss those winters. I spent 7 winters in Toronto. I was going to say here it's quite balmy. I mean, it's a bit foggy, but it's warm. Don't miss a blizzard. Don't mind a couple of days of snow. But yeah, so let's see. I was going to say something else. Of course, it's totally left my mind here with my half sleep still. Oh, thank you for your condolences. I didn't mention that. Yeah. Yep. But every year now when I put up that Santa, not only will remember my mom, also, the tree over here. The tree is actually plastic canvas that my mom made, and even though it does need a bit more glue in some places, she painstakingly put little ornaments onto that and put a lot of work into it. So yeah, I like to put that up, remember my mom, and now I have got Santa over here that I can remember my cousin every holiday. When you get older, I guess that's what it becomes, babe. A time of memories. Yeah. Oh. Sounds like the day is starting. I hear the showers, which means probably my husband is going to go hit the grocery store for 7 a.m. And I'll be stuck in my little room here with crazy Miles, putting up lights that are falling down again. Yes, I was the same way. Well, first of all, I was really only close with my brother Gary because of the brain injury that he grew up at home. And my other siblings were just older than I was. Well, 2 passed away before I was born, but my sister actually had a baby 5 days before I was born. So she was off in her own life. My other brother was in the Air Force. He was in Europe. And then there was, my brother Gary. So yeah, he was really the only one I was in communication with us. For example, like my sister passed away this year in September, and I'm still waiting for the family to consider that maybe I should know this. I mean, families, what the heck, eh? But, yeah, not close. I actually wasn't close to very many people in my family at all. Just sort of like there was a generation between me and everybody else, so it just didn't fit. Yeah. It's life goes on though. Like I say, it's been a kind of a rough year for this family. I'm still friends with Ross's wife on Facebook of that though. She's married now. I mean, Ross died 5 or 6 years ago. She's now married to this guy, Australian. They're seniors. They're in their 70s, and I think he was like one of the top tennis players in Australia at some time. She's very, very nice. So it's nice to still have a little bit of connection with Ross. You know, she does take time to say hello from now and then. Mm. I think I'll be watching people vlogging from running around Vancouver this weekend. It's Swifty time there. Holy cow! I was looking at the pictures that they have. They've got different titles of her songs all in lights at various scenic parts of the city for people to take photos, and it's quite fabulous. Problem is, it's going to rain on Friday and Saturday, which is too bad. So I don't know how many people are going to be out taking photos. But boy, that's Swiftie mania, and I guess this is being Taylor Swift's last stop, probably before she gets married and maybe has a child. And that, you know, this is a big one. So I think I'll be watching people walk around because at least with all those shiny clothes they're buying to go see the Taylor Swift concert, I'm thinking they're all ready for the holidays. They've got their New Year's outfits. And then, you know, you realize they're 12 years old. No, I shouldn't say that. Because there's 50 fans of all ages. And at the prices of those tickets, I can't even imagine. You know, people are paying for the price of a ticket. Pay me a whole month's worth of rent. Jeez. Things have sure changed from our $5 concerts at the Agrodome and Coliseum in Vancouver. By the way, which we saw some of the best classic bands of all times. Never a superstar to the Taylor Swiftie caliber. Maybe so. I mean, come on. We are talking about the Rolling Stones and Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd. So, different time, different caliber. Not pop stars. Never wasn't much for a pop star follower. Mind you, I do have a few Taylor Swift songs on my playlist. I'm totally honest about that. I wish I was actually more prepared this morning, but I didn't have the displeasure of laying there the last few hours of insomnia thinking about things I can talk about last night. I actually feel rested. I feel rested and good. Yeah. So, is there anything in particular? I still have plenty of stories, you know, from life. If you want to share, if you want to know about anything, just give me a prompt. I will do the best as I can. I don't even know if you can hear me. I mean, I talk quite low. First being 5:39 in the morning, and I do have a neighbor right next door who sleeps. Oh, that's nice. It's good to have I think it's good to have friends to spend time with. All my friends are so. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you can hear me. Yeah, my friends all live. Well, I have a few friends on the mainland. I have a few friends like from high school even. But my best friend lives in Nova Scotia. And my other best friends live in Ontario. I don't get to see them. I haven't seen my best BFF for 20 years. And my Ontario best friend for 11 years, 12 years, 11 years, 10 years, something like that. 12 years, 14 years. I don't know. Long enough time. And then my other best friend in Ontario, I haven't seen him in 40 years. But Facebook allows me to communicate with two. The other, well, she doesn't do social media. But we do text and have started talking on the phone again. She's kind of friend that, you have a friend and you don't see them in 3 or 4 years, you don't talk to them, and all of a sudden the phone rings and you pick it up. It's like, oh yeah, I talked to you yesterday. She's that kind of friend, and it's always good to hear from old friends. But yeah, I've kept a lot. Like I still, through social media, I have contact with a lot of people that I went to high school with. There were more and more acquaintances. I never really had any close friends. In high school, I had 2 close friends, and we were totally, I guess, the 3 misfits of the group, of the class, the school. But I just, other people had different aspirations, I can't believe I'm actually sad all this time. I'm not even weighing down. Be careful about that, though. I don't want to push myself like I did before. But you can't. If I drink my coffee laying down, guarantees I'm going to spill it. But yeah, it's good to have friends. I don't have any friends to hang out with. I think I would be a poor friend to hang out with anyways, because with my health, something always pops up. I'm like, I make 10 friendship dates, and 9 of them are not gonna work out at all. The 10th may, because you may come over here, but it's sometimes it's just easier to not do it than have to explain why you can't do it. Boy, I don't know what is with me lately. I go from upset to down. I am happy for you and your friend. I hope you have a lot of good things to talk about, and I hope you have a lot of good things to share. Yeah. Last time I went out was pre-COVID. Went with my daughter-in-law to see my favorite band, Delhi to Dublin. They were playing in Nanaimo. They're actually friends of mine, and I wanted to take her. We had a great time. I even turned on the camera and live streamed to my grandchildren for a bit so they could be a part of the music. Not that there's anything else going on. But that was the last time I went out. It must have been 2018. There's not much of a nightlife here. Not much of a nightlife in Nanaimo, for one. Yeah, I know. It's the same thing about the health issues. And, sometimes the bother about me not going or showing up is more bothersome than the fact that I'm not feeling well. I do feel it. I don't know why. I wonder, maybe this is a neurodivergent thing about I'm so sensitive that I will guilt myself better than anybody can guilt me about things like not showing up, and being ill and not being able to show up. Because my sensitivities, oh my goodness. It's weird, like when you're young and before really autism was understood a lot, it was like, oh, you're too sensitive. It's always a negative thing. So you tend to learn to keep those sensitivities to yourself. But man, I've got sensitivities. I'm telling you. Smells. I literally, if there's a smell that, and either I love it, which are very few smells. Most aggravate me, and some I cannot breathe. I cannot be anywhere near that smell. And half the time I don't know what it is until it hits me. And touch, sensation, feel, and the taste, which goes to the smell, which means my diet is limited because most things taste bad. There's not many other than coconut and pineapple. I'm a pina colada girl. I don't have a lot of good flavors. Yeah. As far as the sensitivities go, is feeling empathy and stuff. That's also quite heightened, but that's due to I have that empathy gene. I can't remember what it's called. That makes you cry over spilled milk and everything else. I mean, don't take me to a dog show. I go to a dog show, I get so overwhelmed. I'll be sitting there, the tears running down, and all the dogs are doing is performing and showing how smart they are. But yeah, animals are my one thing, especially dogs. That's another one of my sensitivities. Cannot watch movies or television shows with dogs if there's any possibility that dog may cease to be alive at any point or hurt during that film. Cannot do it. Yes. But you see, when you're small and you're getting that drilled into you, hey, you're too sensitive. Of course, you think, well, that's a wrong thing. I shouldn't be feeling that. It's wrong for me to feel like this. Who would have thought it would take me into my 60s to start understanding that it's okay to be autistic. It's okay for people to know you're autistic, and it's okay to share. In fact, I think it's probably more important that people realize this is a broad spectrum we're on. We're not all exactly the same of what you may see in movies, but for so many years I was hushed up and had to put on that mask. How many times you put on that mask because you're just trying to be normal? You're just trying to put on this normal mask. That you're worried about who's going to pull it off or how is it going to pull off or if it's the right mask. Boy, I'm telling you, my mind's been on a one-track thing. Yeah. I was worried about, my celebrations about one year I put out on Twitter that it was Sesame Street Day and I got so much hate. I was almost worried today about Walt Disney Day, him being his birthday, and me putting that a day that I went and looked it up to see if he was a bad man, and apparently he wasn't a bad man. He did have a bit of a temper, but I think he also had a pain problem and things that went along with that, and he just really worked hard for people to do his best. So I came to the conclusion that Walt Disney may have done some bad things, as many, many people in Hollywood have. I wasn't able to find them. But his legacy of all of those wonderful Disney movies and the foundation he put in Hollywood, and that is worth celebrating his birthday. Today. I do believe it's his birthday. That's why it's Walt Disney Day. So here, let's toast to the 7 dwarfs, Snow White, all the princesses, and everybody that he brought to life. That's true. And that's the thing that they say. We're not intuitive at all. People who are autistic aren't. They can't read people's faces. They don't know motivations. I think, in my case, I just always give people the benefit of the doubt. And maybe I'm too trusting. And maybe sometimes I'm wrong. But that doesn't mean that maybe I feel there's something going on here that I shouldn't trust. But maybe if I'm the person who gives them the benefit of the doubt, whatever hurt is causing them, because it's usually hurt, right, or history, to act like this, it will somehow alleviate a little bit for them. It's not that we can't tell about people. We are very intuitive about people. At least I know I am. Like I say, it's a spectrum. And my part of the spectrum, that's a high thing. Um, yeah, but I do get burned a lot because I don't know. I tend to believe let's give people a chance because nobody's a bad person. I don't believe that people are bad at birth. I believe it's life circumstances that bring them to this. Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure am empath. I do have. I can't remember what the gene. I'll have to. Oh, I have to. I'm gonna do that right now. Where's my phone? I was. I wasn't surprised. That I felt like I had this empath gene. I wasn't surprised because I knew I felt this way. I was just surprised that everybody didn't feel this way. Oh, there's a baby born in an SUV on the highway to Nanaimo yesterday. Okay, well, that's not what I'm looking for. Empath. But I had my DNA done for ancestry, and then I sent it off to another place, which I can't remember by now. The OXTR gene, the oxytocin receptor gene, is associated with empathy and love. Oxytocin is a hormone that promotes love and social bonding in humans. The OXTR gene. Changes this gene can increase or decrease a person's ability to feel empathetic. Well, it's really funny because strange because I sent it off to this company just to do genetic for like medical and whatever, and it turned out I have this gene. I can't remember. I think it's only one in 20 or something have this gene that basically that releases that oxytocin in dog shows and things like that. And then I wondered, okay, I'm sensitive. Is that why I'm sensitive? And then it's a whole biological makeup. It's the autism. It's that gene. It's the history with people. But yeah, I do feel that. I do feel it more though. I do feel it more with animals. Like I'm saying, I can't really. I can listen to the worst podcasts and watch the worst true crime shows. And it doesn't faze me. But boy, oh boy, you put on a television show where a dog is suffering or a horse is suffering, and that's it for me. It's like, no, can't do that. Just always had this super connection with animals. I was that person that we didn't have pets because my parents, we had, my first pet, when I was about 5, I had a cat named Susie, a Manx that had kittens, and took the kittens in between the basement, the first floor. There's like an area, which caused a lot of problems. My parents were not happy about that. So one day, I came home. I must be in first grade because I didn't go to kindergarten, so I would be 6. I was told that, the cat and the kittens went to live with a nice blind man on a farm, which I believed for many years, by the way. So I didn't get pets after that. And I was that person who was constantly coming home with kittens, constantly trying to sneak kittens into the house. Some friend had kittens. And the kittens always went back until one day, when I was about 8, my parents got me a little puppy, a little Boston Terrier mix named Mickey. And until I was 17, we had Mickey a long time. Mickey was my best little buddy, so that was my first pet. But since I've been on my own, I've always had a pet in my life. No animals. I've always had a dog. I've had cats. I can't have cats now because I can't stand the smell of the litter box. And I can't put the litter box out in the balcony because labs eat kitty poo. And I do not want to be chasing Miles around like I chase him around when he steals a sock with kitty poo. Thank you very much. Speaking of Miles, let's see what time it is. 5 minutes to 6. Maybe I'll bring him in here for a little visit before. Ooh. I don't know if I'll open the door if my lights are going to fall down. Okay. Enter the beast. I'm going to let Miles in. Where is it? Hey, Miles. Yeah. Come on. Come on, visit. First, visit on camera before we log off. No, not yet. But Miles needs to come for a visit. Oh, there goes the pillow. Mister. Hello. That belongs to me. Thank you very much. Hello. Thank you very much. You can sit. Look at the size of this head. The size of this head. This is a 1.5-year-old dog. Miles, can I have my pillow? I don't know what he's got about this pillow, but just don't rip it, okay? Because there'll be little white foamies everywhere. No, that they're not taking anywhere. That's a pillow for my neck. So we'll keep you right here. Hey, Miles, sit. Can I give you your blanket? Here. You have such a nice blanket, and this one belongs to you. This belongs to you. I'll give you the blanket and the pillow away. Mm-hmm. Okay, Mr. Waggy. Okay. We've got his blanket. And here we go. Well, the day has truly started with Miles. Then Miles enters the room. Here, over here. Over here. Yes. It is quite toasty here. I can't see outside still. He's looking for something else to see. Where are you going? Miles. This is I'm going to walk around the room. I'm going to check if there's anything new. And if there is, I'm going to claim it. Miles. Hey, you're being rude. Come here. We'll look out the window, see if it's foggy. Oh, no, I'm going to check Mommy's jacket. I'm going to check Mommy's purse. I'll go over here and look out the window. Nothing there, nothing to see. It's dark out. Yeah. Was it dark out there? Whole lot of fog? Were you out there earlier? My handsome boy. Oh boy. Yeah, so I'll probably spend some time with him this morning. So we'll catch up on our whatever show. I don't even know. Hey, young man, we don't need any more lights falling. Okay. Thank you very much. Are you going to come up here? Say good morning? No. So it looks like I'm going to have him probably for a while. My husband get ready to go downtown. So being 6 a.m., I guess I'm going to be signing off and thanking you again for stopping by. And I didn't have to sit here all by myself in the morning. Ooh, just like that, my binaural beat is over as well. So I'm popping off for now and I'm going to immerse myself in vintage television and whatever few jobs I have to do while I babysit this big old Miles. Hey, Miles. Come on, up here. So, you have a great day too, and thank again for stopping by. Well, maybe one day we'll have a few more people to join in the conversation. Until then, have a great day and goodbye.